This is INCRadio DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, and a very, very, very good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for another INCRadio Hawaii-Pacific and a very happy new year. I know 2024 was full of a lot of shows. We had weekly shows, and we will be doing it all again for the year 2025. I am Sister Jeline. I will be your host for today, but as you can see, I am not alone. I have a lovely sister to the left of me, a lovely brother to the right of me. Let's have them introduce themselves. Sister, you can go first.
Aloha everyone! My name is Chris Malivalde. I am from the locale Waiua.
Ooh. Now, very special guest. I guess we have been trying to get back for months. For many months. He has canceled on us 2 times. But let's not throw him under the bus. Let's have him reintroduce himself.
I did not see that bus coming, Sister Jeline. Hi, brothers and sisters. Happy Aloha Friday. It's our first Aloha Friday of the year. I hope everyone's having a great time so far, brothers and sisters. I'm Brother John Guillermo. I'm from the local congregation of Kalihi.
Wow. That was very host-like, right, sister?
Oh, was it?
It was very host-like.
Please come back.
This bus is coming right back around.
It is. It's like a train. You know what? I think we should just leave.
I think you talk to yourself, right?
You can ask yourself the question. Okay. Anyways, you know what? I just realized we don't have the YouTube link open on there, and I think it is the right time for us to read comments, but we don't have it. I will open it on my phone. 1 second.
So, sisters, how was your New Year's celebration like? While we go ahead and fix that.
I think
There was a lot of food.
really
A lot of food.
In
We
Waiua?
do like that.
Were you guys like at the
Oh.
chapel or?
At the chapel, it was a little quiet, It was a lot of karaoke, I would say.
Oh,
Ah.
us too.
Well, we want to know more about the food. What kind of food? Okay, well, what's the showstopper food, sister?
Of course, there's barbecue,
Mm.
fabulous lumpia.
Oh,
Oh,
that's the
what's
one.
that?
I think you need to travel to the Philippines.
Oh, oops. But for me, I think Waipahu always goes all out when
Yeah?
it comes to the fireworks. So it was super, super loud.
Mm.
Super, like not even when it was dark yet.
Right.
Like
Oh.
sun's still out, popping aerials, and it's super fun. It's always a fun experience, but I always get congested after. That's the bad part.
It's that pollution.
It's that pollution.
Right,
It's
right.
the dirty air. But how was yours?
It was great. Actually, I took a nap right before midnight, and it was all the popping of the fireworks that got me up about 10 minutes right before, and I said, "It's time. Here we go. Let's ring in the new year."
Typical.
Right?
You
You
know
know,
what?
we had our end of the year prayer at the chapel, and we had a lechon for once. My family never has lechon, so that was great.
Wow. Was it the full
yeah.
lechon?
It was the belly roll. Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of like that better.
Oh, you do?
I do like that better.
See, I have mixed reactions. I have a mixed review right now. I kind of like the whole pig. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? The cheek. When you get the whole pig, you
The
ever
cheek.
this cheek. It's so good. I haven't had a full lechon in quite some time.
Well, there's a lot of opportunities this year.
Yeah,
Sure.
if
363
we have the money.
days left.
160. Yeah.
Two?
62.
Two, excuse me, two.
62.
Oh gosh, what do we do for a living? Math.
We will be getting into what you do for a living.
Was that the segue?
In a bit. That was
That was
really
not the
good
segue. Let's
segue.
bring it
No,
back.
that was great. But I think first it is time for us to read some comments, and of course. Our very first comment is from Brother Joseph John Roncall. Always happy viewing, but from the local congregation of #Wahiwa, and a happy New Year to everyone. Oh, thank you so much for always logging in early, Brother Joseph. You want to read the next one, sister?
Let me see. From Jordan Payumo. Aloha, happy viewing from the locale of Pearl City. #PCL.
Is it PC or PLC?
PLC, right?
Pearl, yeah,
Right,
PLC.
I think
But you know what?
PLC.
That's fine.
Whatever you
Hashtag
say,
double
sister.
forgiven.
Ooh,
Yep.
let's read this one.
This one right here.
Yes.
From Manong Caesar. Thank you for tuning in, dear brethren of Hawaii-Pacific. Let's continue to support our channel and invite more brethren to tune in. I like that. Aloha Friday, happy Aloha Friday po. #PLH.
Thank you so much.
Which is the local of
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
Waipahu, actually. And he actually comments that a couple times. You can see how Manong Cesar is so very faithful in leaving.
We love the
comments on our
support,
shows.
brother.
We
Keep
love
it coming this whole
having him.
year.
I think we should have him on next week.
That's a great idea, sister.
And you should host?
No.
Whoa, I was driving the bus a different direction.
Okay. But yes, a very happy New Year to everyone. And what was I gonna say?
Well, thank you for all the comments, brothers and sisters. We got a
That's what I
good
was
show
gonna
for you
say.
tonight.
Exactly. Because we have Brother John here. Because we have
Oh, stop.
you know what? We're actually all three of us are actually hosts today. There is no guest. We'll be asking each other the questions. No, but really, I think it's time for us to get into the topic of you. So first of all, what is your life story?
Oh, my life story.
Okay, Sister Kirsten, if you want to read the first question for our Brother John.
All right. So your first question is, what is your current position in the school you work at?
So I'm a third grade teacher in elementary at the school that I do work at. I teach general education.
Wow. And have you taught any other grades yet?
Have I taught any other grades? So my journey into education has been quite long, sister. Without getting into years too much, I've had other positions in the elementary school setting before. So I have worked with K through 6 throughout the years in special education and after school care. After school programs, things like that, sister. But this is actually my first year being in the classroom as a fully licensed teacher. So it's been really fun. Yeah.
And congratulations to you. I know you
Thank you, sister.
graduated. Last year now. It's no longer 2024. But
Right.
was it always elementary education that you wanted to go for?
Sister, that's a very great question.
Tell me more.
I prefer the elementary grades because I like to have my students be shorter than I am. Even in the elementary grade, I refuse to teach 5th grade and above just because they start to get eye level with you. And it makes it a little hard, especially when you're trying to redirect some behaviors.
And
And
your
you're looking
neck
eye to eye
too,
with
right?
them.
Mhm.
Is it your neck too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
a very, very fun fact about this panel today, all of us have teaching experience.
Oh, education.
Education. Them two are elementary. I am high school, but I did teach a 5th grade class. And
Did that help your decision?
It did. It did. You're so right about the height. Because I had kids taller than me.
Right.
And it did make me very
And it's the
insecure.
maturity, right, sister? Because
Yeah.
you want to teach secondary, and even though they're, I'm sorry, they tower over you by that point, but there's a maturity there, right?
Yeah.
And some more respect. Anyway,
It definitely varies. I would say I got lucky and I got a very respectful 5th grade class. I mean, there were some times where they were out of line, but yeah, I think I was very, very blessed to have them. I think it was just for one semester, but still a great experience for me, even if I'm not going to the elementary education pathway. But I'm honestly considering it because
Right.
High school.
Well, Sister Julian, I know that you're an aspiring teacher, and if we have any aspiring teachers viewing tonight, like it's a very noble position and a very noble job, and we definitely need more help in the workforce. So, really, kudos to you, Sister Julian, because we need a lot more help out there. But I actually just met Sister Chris Mel tonight, and
Mhm.
it was so awesome to hear that she's actually an educator as well. I mean, Sister, can you tell us a little bit more about your position?
Well, I'm just like an assistant teacher in the classroom.
No,
Hey.
Sister, let them know your position
You're so
title because
humble,
it's
sister.
so much more than that, Sister.
Well, what about my job?
Oh man, Sister Chris Mel is actually a paraprofessional within the school, and that sounds hard because it is hard. So it's workers like Sister Chris Mel here that actually make my job a lot easier and a lot more manageable because she does a lot for the school as well. I mean, Sister, what do you do?
Sometimes I actually do one-on-one tutoring sessions,
Mhm.
and that's like during the school day too. So I'm kind of like running back and forth between classrooms also. So
Mm.
it's like,
Oh, between classrooms.
yeah.
You're not assigned
so-
to just one.
Oh, I am assigned to one, but there's times where they have to call me out of class
Mm.
to help another student.
Oh,
And Sister Julian and our viewers, from experience, they only do that with the really good workers.
they
So,
do.
so Sister Chris
You're
Mel,
so
really,
She's great.
really like hats off to you as well, Sister. I'm with a really good panel tonight, brethren. I just wanted to, give them the kudos that they deserve.
We have a very amazing guest tonight. It's almost as if he is hosting. And you know what? I love it. It's almost like we get a break, right, sister? I think we will be just fine if we pan the camera just to him.
Oh,
And zoom in.
oh, that's
and zoom
okay.
in.
No,
We-
that's
we
that's
always
fine.
we always love being around you, brother John.
Aw,
You
thank
have
you,
like
sister.
such a bright
No,
personality.
thank you for having me today. It's an honor to be here with you folks.
Finally.
Being on this side of the camera for once, it's really
Yes.
it's different.
Yes, it's great.
Right.
But I think it is time for us to jump back into our questions.
Mm.
So, number 2, what does a typical workday look like?
What does a typical workday look like? Let's see. Early mornings, a lot of prayer throughout the day to make it through, and a lot of late afternoons. No. So a typical workday could look very different at an elementary school. Of course, our goal is routines. Right, Sister Chris Mel? Like we really
Yeah.
want to keep our routines going because that's very important, especially developmentally. But the workday is pretty typical with lessons, a lot of planning. A lot more planning. They don't tell you this in college, but there's a lot of planning that goes on, and you can't really just do whatever. It has to be like
have to
study based.
Do it.
Right. And of course, it's a big responsibility because their education is in your hands,
Mhm.
right? And what you impart onto them and the good habits that they form is all up to the teacher. But yeah, so a typical workday other than the lessons also includes a lot of meetings with other teachers. But aside from academics itself, I tend to like to focus on the relationship building as well in the community. So like there's a relationship between students, between you and the students as well, and between your coworkers. That's very important. You work with people all the time, and just this year alone, I think I have learned that I like building the relationship with the parents as well. And that's what we learn here in the church. Like the very importance of CFO and the interconnectedness of everything. It's pretty much similar to the career as well, where if you get the parents' trust, it helps out a lot, right? And it helps you get through to the students. And if the students are also happier at home because you can help them at school, they'll do better in their work. And
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't really notice how much we actually have to communicate with the parents. You think it's just a teacher-student relationship, but getting that parent insight is super, super helpful.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree.
Like knowing how they act at home and maybe like sort of kind of implementing that in the school setting, it helps so much. But you talked about planning a lot. Were there ever times you had to go off plan?
Oh, all the time. All the time, sister. So the thing about teaching is that it's a live thing. It's alive and it's organic. You have to. You can have a plan. However, the way that things plan out sometimes it's not exactly the way that you did plan. Similar to us being in our Christian lives, right? Like we have our own plans. However, our Almighty God has different plans from us, and sometimes it turns out a different way. And what are you gonna do except go on with it and just trust the process,
Yeah.
right? So my planning could look something like just planning for each subject. I guess from secondary, you plan for just a single subject.
Yeah.
I don't mean to say that that
No.
it's simpler. It's one of the challenges with elementary.
Yes.
You have to plan for every single
Mhm.
subject, right?
I remember.
Yeah, I mean, so that's part of it as well. Let's see, a typical work day. I have yard duty sometimes. That's not so
Yeah.
fun.
I don't
I
think I've had a
agree.
yard duty experience. You two have.
Oh my goodness.
What's like scale of 1 to 10? How much do you love yard duty?
One.
Oh, okay.
If I could put
I'm sorry.
a 0,
Is 10 like you love it the most?
Yeah.
One.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll say
Wow.
the same.
It's
Is it
one.
really that bad?
Well, it's because it's during our break time,
Yeah.
right?
I see.
And working with children all day, it's very stimulating. Like to your
Very
senses. You're just always,
Overstimulating.
it's overstimulating. I mean, Sister Chrisma, you work with a younger
Yeah.
student, so I can't
Mhm.
imagine on your yard duty days, you don't get your break.
No.
And then on the field, in the playground, that's when they want to get to know you more.
Yeah. They always love to ask questions.
They like to ask all the questions
Yeah.
in the world.
If you get your nails done, they'll ask you, where'd you do it?
ask if you're married, all
Yeah,
these
you have a
things.
boyfriend?
All yeah, and
Are you related to this person?
Well, so I'm actually curious, Sister Chrisma. So, do you also have a huge umbrella? Because I have my large umbrella for yard duty days.
Yes.
You do? Oh,
But the good thing is that where we have our recess, we have like a little like a hangover thing, so I could stand under that. So I'm
blessings.
okay.
That's a blessing, sister. You need to
It really
thank our Almighty God for that blessing.
You guys were talking about how they ask so many questions, and honestly,
We do.
they were starting to sound like my high schoolers.
Really?
They ask a lot of questions. They're so nosy. I mean, to be
Oh, I
fair-
thought you meant about lessons.
Oh.
You mean questions about our personal lives?
Yes. They
Ah.
are so nosy.
Well, so how is secondary like? In comparison to
well,
what we have just said.
Yeah.
I haven't honestly taught a class in a year,
Mm.
and I do really miss it. I think secondary, for me, it was because I taught while I was in high school, so they were all the same
Oh,
age
I
as
see.
me.
Mhm.
So it was such a weird experience to have them call me Miss Villar.
Oh, that's so cute.
That no, no, they carried it on like past graduation.
Mhm.
Some of them still called me Miss Villar.
That's awesome.
And
though.
and
I'm
some
so
of them were
sorry,
my
Miss
friends.
Villar.
It's funny you should say that though, because see, these students are around your age range, but they can't call you anything but Miss Villar.
Yeah.
So I work with some of my old teachers from elementary now, and they're my
Oh.
colleagues,
I get that.
and
too.
I can't call them by their first names.
No,
it
I feel
can't
that
happen.
too.
Do they get mad when you call them by their teacher name?
They get annoyed when I don't, and they're like, "No, just call me so and so." I'm like, "No, maybe not yet."
It doesn't
I
fit.
tried it once. I
Mhm.
tested it out. I didn't like it, and
No.
so But that's just the impact that
It's like-
teachers have on us, though,
Yeah.
right? And like that rapport that you build with them,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right?
It's like calling your parents by their first name.
Yeah, no, it's not
Absolutely
happening.
not. No.
100% no.
And then we talked about typical workday when school is in session.
Ah,
But from my understanding, it is winter break. It is
Yes.
winter break right now. So what is your typical quote unquote workday like during breaks?
during breaks. Okay, I would like to preface this. If there are any other educators watching us on air right now, take your breaks. Your mental health is worth way more than working ahead. However, over break, so like I said, I am just starting off now, and a lot of my lessons are still not, they're not concrete like my coworkers are. The way that teaching really works is if it works for you, you just teach it every year. Right, that same lesson every single year. You just tweak it a little bit. However, teaching is an art, and as we know, with any kind of art, when you're first starting off, it takes a lot of practice. So even though I'm on break right now, sister, I've honestly been going into work to do some things here and there, cleaning, because
yeah.
I don't know if you guys know about like type A, type B type of teachers.
Yeah.
I'm very much type B,
I
where
get it.
my papers are just stacked.
Yeah.
And so I need to go in when I'm not actually teaching to start organizing things, but also like creating materials for the students. Children need visuals, like if it's
Yeah.
not
Yes.
visual,
Or like hands-on kind of things
Yes.
too.
right, they're not gonna learn it,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
mean,
But the great part about them needing so much like visual learning, you get to have so much decoration for your room. Do you know what I
double-edged sword.
mean?
Double-edged sword. So I actually had nightmares about decorating
Oh, okay.
before going into my first room. I'm not a very decorative person. I put up I put up some colors. I put up some bulletin boards and called it a day. Slap on a motivational quote,
Love that
and then
for you.
we're good. No, but the students really do need it. So I'm building up little by little.
Mhm.
Little by little, I'm constantly being told to not compare myself to other people in the
Oh,
profession,
yes.
similar to other professions, right? You have to build yourself up from the bottom. That's where I'm at right now. And my principal himself has said, don't work yourself to the bone, right? Because, if you work yourself down and you're burnt out, then you're no good to anyone.
Wow. And are you teaching the same grade the next school year?
Thankfully, yes.
Oh,
That's good.
Thankfully, yes.
Um,
Wait, so with high school teachers, though, Sister Julene, is there any work that goes in during break as well? I mean,
oh yes.
that you have how many students? About like 200?
Oh, for one grade.
Yeah, within a semester or a school year.
For me, I only had about 90 because I only taught three.
She says
periods.
only 90.
I only taught 3 periods.
But that's a lot of
That's
grading.
still a lot.
It is a lot of
That's
grading.
90 essays that you need to grade for.
Well, I taught math, so it was 90,
Okay.
90 pages of just trigonometry I had to correct.
I never got to that point. So, sister, with trigonometry, is it a lot of work? Like you have to go through each step?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Or-
yeah, it's
Oh,
a very
wow.
step-by-step process. There were some teachers I had that taught trigonometry not like that. They just like threw us into the deep end. Like they gave us some sort of step-by-step, but their way of teaching was just, okay, here's a problem, this is how to solve it.
Mhm.
Not, here are the steps to solve any kind of problem like it.
Mm.
And I think it took a lot of growth I was 16 when I taught my first class, and it took so much growth. There was a lot of mistakes in the beginning, which I'm sure you both can say.
Right.
Teaching is a very humble experience.
It's very humbling.
It's
Very
very
It truly
humbling.
is.
But a great experience nonetheless.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. And I like how you mentioned how everyone learns a little bit differently,
Mhm.
and I think that as a society, we've forgotten that teaching is not just an art, but it's a science.
Yes.
On how to help people learn things, how to retain that in their memory, how to keep practicing. And I hope, as you go on your journey, sister, and whoever else is in the same part of their journey, you start finding yourself, because it's hard to not compare yourself in the beginning or even beforehand,
Of course.
but you'll find your way. You'll find your way into your art and your own craft, right? I mean, Sister Chrismel, how do you deal with your, what did you say, what grade?
First grade.
Oh,
First grade.
babies.
Babies.
They're not
Okay.
as bad as kindergarten. I've sat with kindergarten for
Yeah.
15 minutes. I could never. It was lunchtime and I could not do it.
I did kindergarten in an internship, actually. So I did one whole
Really?
year with kindergarten. It's a lot of paperwork. By
Is
paperwork,
it?
I mean
Oh.
cutting worksheets.
Oh,
I mean,
That's
cutting
really
worksheets and
funny.
coloring, right? I mean,
Yeah,
is that what
that's
goes into your preparation, sister?
For first grade?
Mhm.
No, actually. I just keep
Oh.
printing papers.
Mm.
I keep having to walk back and forth to like the printer. You know, like how you have flashcards for like math?
Oh yeah.
We always have somehow a mistake.
Yes.
Those issues with the
Yes.
printers.
Oh.
Wait. Have you ever left a printer jammed and left?
What?
I'm not admitting
Because I couldn't.
Oh, no.
I couldn't fix it. I promise I fixed them to the best I can.
Right,
And
right.
it always just ends up thinking about
Right.
You know what's good about printers these days is that the copy machine, the screen actually tells you where the problem is.
Yeah.
It's a whole video. It's like it moves. It says, open this thing and then
Yeah.
pull this out and then turn this and lock it. Right. So there's no excuse these days.
What printer do you have?
I'm kidding, sister.
But,
I'm
like,
kidding.
it's weird. Like the sensor papers are, you know, where like the sensor is off.
Right, right.
I look in there and it's not there.
Oh.
What am I supposed to do?
I know. Teacher
Wow.
struggles.
So like,
Huh.
big problem there.
Like, I think biggest, like, the thing I dislike the most is when you print a whole stack of worksheets
Mm.
and then you find the typo.
Like,
No. Sister Julie, that's when you tell all your students to take out a pen.
and do it.
And correct it.
Everyone look at this one part here and just change that. And honestly, so I depend on technology quite a bit. So I use my iPad a lot.
Oh.
And I just have that onto the screen. So everything that I'm doing on the iPad is what the students are
Not
doing
sponsored.
as well. Not sponsored. No. Yeah. But I mean, that's all part of our typical workday.
That's
So,
great.
right, it's a lot. It's a
Wow.
lot. I think some days, I mean, Sister Crystal, because you work with the same grade that I do, same age level, right? Sometimes you feel like you're just on until you leave work, right?
Mm.
Honestly,
It's, part of my typical day is driving home in silence.
You told me that. I was just about to bring that up. You
Right.
told me, I think you were still in school at this time, but you were teaching. You were a student teacher.
Right.
I felt so bad for you.
Oh, thank you. See, we have a lot of empathy on this panel tonight. But
Because we
yeah,
all understand each other.
it's the stimulation that you get from all day just like talking and screaming and like
just cat play music.
I sometimes want like a
Honestly.
counter clicker to see how many times they say my name. Well, like, yeah. No.
That's so
So my kids know whenever I say, we have a prompt. I say, when is it ever okay to interrupt Mr. Guillermo? And then everyone says in a chorus together, never.
oh, that's cute.
That's so nice.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Oh,
But it's okay.
it's fun to try.
They're
right?
learning. They've had their brains for about 8 years. It's taking a while to load. We gotta give them some
It's
grace.
still developing.
It's still developing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When does the brain fully develop? Like 20?
25.
25? Yeah, not
Yeah.
even close.
Almost there.
Oh,
It's okay.
yeah. They're like halfway there.
But it's fine. Everything's fine. It'll be fine.
he'll be crying after this show. Actually,
We'll
The
try to-
trauma.
He'll be crying when winter break ends. Oh goodness.
No, I mean, there's that we joke, right? But I feel pretty ready to go
Yeah.
back, and I
Yeah.
feel pretty refreshed. I mean,
I'm kind of excited to see them again, actually. To see what
That's
they
the
did over
darnest
break,
thing.
You know?
I know. I have some students traveling, and I really want to hear about what they've seen and what they've done. There's only so much we can teach within the four walls of our classroom, right?
Yeah.
So if they ever get that chance to go out and learn in like in another country, oh my gosh, I'm all for it. Some teachers hate that. They're like, don't leave, don't go on vacation. I'm like, go. Like,
Go
go
have
and
fun.
learn something. No, not just have fun, learn something. They have to learn.
True.
Yeah.
Make them write a whole report.
When they come back, yeah.
No,
With a picture.
oral report. Just tell me what
Oral
happened.
report.
No need to write it. I won't be able to read it. It's fine.
We have kind of ventured off of our questions, but that's totally fine. We love when that happens, especially when you are here.
Well,
because we're
going
good
on a
at that.
tangent is it's one of my favorite parts of being in a talk show, right? Which I think brings us to our next thing, right, sister?
He's so good at this. So if you wanted to read question number 3, sister.
Number 3. What is your favorite part of your job?
Ooh,
Lunchtime?
lunchtime.
Guard duty, obviously.
Lunchtime. Oh man. Okay. What do you guys do for lunch? Do you eat with the students or what's your thing?
No.
You guys have to answer that because I was a student.
Oh, you were.
For me, I have to watch them during lunch.
Oh.
And since we have like kids that are allergic to things, we're not allowed to eat around them. So it's
Oh.
Oh, so you can eat whatever you want because you can't eat
but
around
like, it's just like a safety precaution kind of thing,
Mm,
you know?
mhm.
Because peanut allergies are kind of
Right.
iffy to touch on. So
Hmm.
yeah, I don't have
Like shellfish, if you happen to have like
things like
shrimp.
that. Yeah.
No, I mean, we're in Hawaii. We love our garlic shrimp.
Oh yes, we do.
You know, we love everything. Oh, garlic is also an allergen. Did you know?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
That's crazy. It's really sad. You know,
that is really sad.
a moment of silence for them. I love garlic.
I feel like when I was in elementary or like in school period, peanut allergies were like super serious. Or maybe they just
Yeah.
did that to scare us. Or is it
Well, okay. So think about it like this though. Back in the day, in education, they didn't take it seriously, and there were some serious things that did happen. And so, students making pranks and such things.
Right.
Um, so I think it's kind of good that we kind of do take it seriously now because you never
Yeah.
know, right? Especially since children can't speak up for themselves too. We have to be the first to advocate for them in case if they need any help. Like we're their voice. We have to be the champion for each child,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
And
I love that.
yeah, champion for each child. That's not my quote. That's from someone much smarter than I am.
That was a really nice. You know what? I'm gonna put that in my notes. I'm gonna rewatch the show in case I forget it.
Yeah,
That was a
absolutely.
really good quote. But yeah, serving as an advocate for each child is
Right.
like we don't just teach them. We have to, if they don't have that voice, we have to speak up for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And because being members of the church, I come into the classroom with a totally different lens as well from other teachers.
Yes.
We don't celebrate a lot of the holidays that the rest of the people in this world do, and so these children normally don't have teachers that advocate for that at all. So it's really it's something that I take pride in now to always kind of just remind our administrators too, like, hey, where do the students who don't celebrate this holiday go to? Because we have to think about them as well. And it's hard for children to speak up sometimes. And I'd like to also be that for them. And I taught at schools with a lot of members of the church. That was such a privilege. It was so nice. So I got to work with them in CWS, and then I got to work with them in school too. And so it was a great full circle moment to be able to speak up for them as well, right? Because everyone is different. Yeah.
I like
Wow.
that.
That's a favorite part of mine, honestly.
Great answer.
Like advocating for students.
Yes.
Yeah. But also lunch. I love lunch. I eat in my room alone in the cold AC with the lights turned down.
Great.
And I turn on some lo-fi or I
that
turn on
sounds like a
some
dream.
classical music.
That's amazing.
Sure, come on over.
We all meet up on our
I mean,
lunch break.
actually, I play classical music all day long in my room.
Oh, I love
It's always like ambiance music. I'm one of those people. I'm very talkative. I don't like silence, but it's necessary. So I like to, kind of fill it in a little with some classical music. Culture these students a little bit.
Yeah. Personally, when it's like dead quiet, I can't function. It scares me. I don't. Maybe it's just me, but like I can't fall asleep if it's dead quiet.
Oh. So do
I'm
you
a
have like
little-
a white noise maker or?
No, I have a streaming platform that starts with an N.
Ah. Not sponsored.
No, it's a red N. It's great. It's great.
Okay. Do you turn like a timer on or?
No, I just
Let
when
it
I
go?
to see, are you still watching?
And then obviously you can say yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
I mean, I always get scolded by my mom when she wakes me up in the morning.
Tita, if you're watching,
Sorry, mommy.
it's a New Year's resolution.
It is.
The timer is an option these days.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're all growing and learning, right, sister?
Yeah.
I mean, well, so secondary. What's your favorite part of being a secondary teacher?
I feel like there's always that boundary between students and teachers, especially with the older students. They want to be super super friendly with you. They want to they want to call you by your first name. Like that's something I didn't expect. You can't do that. Boundaries.
Yeah.
But my favorite part was really just getting to know them, getting to know their learning styles. I taught 3 different periods and they all had totally different learning styles. There was one time where in my lesson plan I had a little game, and then I did it for 1 period. I was like, it worked out great, but then I realized it's not gonna work out great for the next period.
class.
I was like, oh,
Wait, why was that though?
that first class was very, very talkative. They always participate. That second class was very shy. I think it had something to do with the way my mentor teacher set up the seating chart, maybe.
Mhm.
That is also a science.
Wait, a
Seating
quiet
chart?
class?
It was
A
quiet.
dream.
Oh,
That's a
no.
dream. Your teacher did
Right.
something right.
I think before I came in this why they were really rowdy
Mm,
and they got a lot of punishment for that. But yeah, they weren't feeling it. They weren't feeling it. So I had to change course and I forgot what I did, but it ended up working out. But seeing
That's
that
been so
and then
difficult.
Yeah.
You have to change
Right
within
then and there
a period,
too.
yes,
right? So your planning was kind of on the spot.
it was on the spot. I mean, the game wasn't like never mind.
See, sister, this is what makes you such a good host. She had all this training and background with changing things out of nowhere. I mean, there you go. Sister Julie.
See you next
That's what you
week.
get. Whoa, whoa.
Oh yeah, you're definitely coming back.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
But I think also a favorite part of mine was seeing how much growth they had. Like beginning of the school year, no idea what a trigonometric function was,
Whew, trigonometric. Whoa, that's a
and
mouthful.
then they come out of the first semester and they know all 6 functions. I'm like, that's amazing. It was a dream. And then coming up with your own ways to help them learn. The way I learned, I came up with tricks for myself and I taught it to them. And it felt like such a reward. But enough about me. How about Sister Chrismel? What is your favorite part about the job?
Especially working with such young grades,
Oh,
right?
yes.
So, like for future reference, that's called early education, where it's like just super like early on, kindergarten, first grade, right? Preschool. So I would think, does first grade count as early ed?
I would say so.
It probably would, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
just
right?
one above kindergarten. They're
It's
basically the
still
same.
learning something.
You know, actually, on second thought, I think the grade that I teach is when they leave early education.
Yes.
So the third
3 to
grade,
4.
right? That's
That's
when they
the
start
second.
to shift a little bit.
Grow.
So, ooh, you have the babies to take care of.
Yes.
But there's got to be some great parts, right? I mean, what's your
Well,
favorite
with
part about it?
growing.
Physically or?
Let's see. I think like in how they learn,
Mm.
because in reading, you know, like fluency,
Yes.
like the 1 minute reading.
What's
Yes.
fluency, sister?
So we give them like a whole like story, and they have to read it in like 1 minute.
Yeah.
So it has like a counting. It kind of like, how do I explain
It's like
it?
think of monkey type, but for reading.
Reading.
Not-
They're ready.
I love that.
They're ready for the room. Yeah, no. So fluency for our viewers is basically, can the student read without any mistakes within a given amount of time, right? So wait, that's your favorite part?
It's actually pretty fun.
Seeing them mess
Really?
up.
No, it's not when they mess up. It's seeing them grow throughout the year. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like when it comes to like the lower readers, they're like from like 6 words, and then all of a sudden they're like reading 60 or something, and it's like wow.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's just so cool.
No,
And
I
then
totally agree.
with, like testings too, or like we were talking about this earlier.
Oh.
I ready scores
Oh.
really pump me up.
Oh,
It made
man.
me like
They pump
excited.
you up?
It makes me like really excited.
It's something about
to see it.
setting a goal and meeting it,
know?
or even if they don't meet it, like
Yeah.
they have to reflect back. And it's
Mm.
funny to see, or not funny, it's there's something about seeing a 7-year-old say, I didn't reach my goal because I didn't do so and so. So next time I need to do this.
Yeah.
And you're like, who are you? Right?
You're so
Right.
grown.
You're so grown. Look at you. Oh
Man.
yeah.
I feel there's a lot of pros about teaching. I feel like a lot of people only focus on the cons.
Oh, there's so much good in it.
There is
Right.
it's so fulfilling.
And I feel like if there wasn't any good in it, nobody would even want to be
Oh, yeah.
a teacher in the first
Yeah.
place. I mean, so like my favorite thing about it though is working with the students have a hard time. So I had a really hard time in school, all the way from kindergarten till high school.
Mhm.
Even in college, I had a really rough time. You know, I had a lot of challenges as a student. And so I think I take a lot of students and parents by surprise when I give them that compassion because I'm like, I know I've been there. I know what it's like to struggle. And, you know, if they're just pouting, it's not because they don't want to do the work. It's probably because they can't do the work, right?
Yeah.
And so like that, I guess that's my favorite part. Working with the students who struggle, because I've been there, you know, and it's just like, listen, if we don't get you from this step to this step this year, it's fine. If we can get you just one, just a little bit towards that goal, that's cause for celebration,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And it's just, no, that's a great thing. That's my, I mean, that's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
And the networking, honestly, because teachers, we're a different breed, man. We're a different kind of people. We're the kind of people to make spreadsheets for everything. We have lists for everything. We depend on planners, and no one really gets it.
Yes.
Right?
And the color coding too, right?
And
Oh, I love color
Wait.
coding.
What color's math? Wait, say the color on 3. 1, 2, 3. Red.
Blue.
Oh, well done.
We're not bringing it back.
Oh well.
It is so blue. You know what I mean? It's blue.
Here's the science behind it. Wait, did you like math?
Yes.
I did not like math.
Yeah, I think I heard that. So the red correlates with all the corrections your teacher would make on your
All the
paper.
scariness.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's just scary.
It's like bloody.
Well, so okay, wait. So growing up, the red math was because I didn't like it. But now it's like the red is like, let's go fight. Like, let's do this. It's the motivation. Like, let's tackle this. And funny enough, that's my favorite subject to teach.
Oh,
It is pretty fun, actually.
It's my
I love
favorite.
teaching math.
Because it's step 1, 2, 3, 4. If you don't get step 3, I know exactly I need to work on step 3 with you, you know? And it's not like in reading where it's like,
oh,
well,
Yeah.
how'd you get that sound?
English is very red to me.
Did you not like English?
I did not like
Actually,
it.
same.
I did not.
Wait.
like
English?
Too bad.
So language arts is kind of separated. Did you like writing?
it. I didn't like it, but apparently I was good at it.
How about reading?
I loved reading though.
Reading's fun.
Okay, why is it red for you?
Yeah.
Sister Julian's actually a really great student, brothers and sisters. She won't say it. Actually, Sister Julian, weren't you like a CTE honors as well?
I did have CTE.
Were you a CTE honors?
No.
Honors from high school. Yeah. None.
I had a
No honors.
CTE cord.
Same thing. We didn't have those.
Yeah.
Really?
So if anything, you win. I do. We didn't have any honor.
So actually, I made Sister Julian slide for graduation for her recognition.
The baccalaureate.
I ran out of space.
I told him to take some.
I
out.
needed to reduce the font size because she did really well.
Would have made it like a whole other slide though.
No.
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 I would have loved
Keep
to
it
see
equal.
Yeah. Keep it equal, but
We would have been there too long.
yeah.
With everything that she does, yeah.
Separate
We told the
shorthand.
MC, just read the first 2.
Okay. Anyways, moving on. We are very close to running out of time though.
Oh, we are.
At 10:42 time check. We are so very sorry, but we're having so much fun here. So there will be a part 2 of this show. But
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. You know what? 10 a.m. is part 2 of the show.
Wait, they might miss it.
Oh,
They should probably subscribe.
You should
Oh,
subscribe.
you should
You-
and
put
hit
that bell.
Exactly. Hit that bell.
What else should we talk about? Can we hit up those comments down below?
Give us a
Right?
thumbs up.
Thumbs up, please.
Like the live. Watch all of our new ones.
Rewatch.
We'll be looking for. We missed you all so much, and we will be missing you again for the next week.
We will.
But for upcoming activities, there are none right now, none definitive ones. But our last question for you, Brother John, is: are there any shout outs you wanted to get?
Some shout outs. Big shout out to my local congregation of Kalihi. Hi to all our brothers and sisters there watching. And we also had a special shout out to one of our TSB officers, to Sister Samantha. Happy birthday from all of us who are officers in the local congregation. We appreciate you, sister. And of course, shout out to all our brothers and sisters watching today, especially those from other districts. It's really nice to be with you all, Paul.
No, thank you so much for tuning in to another INCRadio Hawaii-Pacific. And we wish we could read more comments, but we are very over time. But before we get into the end of the show, we do have some closing remarks and special thanks we wanted to read. Sister, did you want to read those?
Just some. Okay. So special thanks to our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, CFO Coordinator, and CEBSI President, Brother Angelo Enranio Manalo.
Of course, and another special thank you to our District Supervising Minister, Brother Jem H. Baitan, our Assistant District Supervising Minister, Ka Ador Apostol, and our CFO, Overseer Ka Brandon Pacheco. And of course, a very, very huge thank you to all of our ministers and workers and their families in this district or around the world, wherever you may be. That is it for our show. Thank you so, so much for watching. And we hope aloha!
Happy New Year!
Happy
Happy
New
New Year.
Year!